Hey you guys, Attorney Brooke here. Today I am reacting to Crazy in Custody Day in Court. Who spiked the jail's Jello cups? This is from the Old Squishy Gardeners Court Watch channel. So let's jump into it.
The Honorable J. Cedric Simpson presiding.
And good morning. Court does call the case. People versus Logan Turner.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, good. People.
I'll take that as pure joy, Judge.
Yes.
Okay, I see here we're in some sort of Zoom world court, which obviously took off and like snowballed post-pandemic. So I've definitely had my fair share of Zoom hearings. So this will be interesting because it's always just like a cluster. Every single case that's on the court's docket that day and like just mixed with all the parties, all the attorneys, all that jammed into like one virtual fictitious courtroom. And it's just like everybody's technical problems on top of that as well. So this will be a treat.
Seems like MDOC, their video was working when they signed her in, and now their video feed has cut out.
Exactly my point. It's always something in this Zoom world. I'm not like overly sure what's happening at this point. I think this video is just like skipping through to like different beginnings and endings of different virtual hearings at this point. So let's see if an actual hearing catches on, if we can get some substance out of it.
Court calls the case. People versus Dominique Olive.
Mr. Olive, are you here?
Y'all, Zoom is just a trip. Like, check out Donald Dashner Shipman. He's up there, like, or she, I don't even know who that is, cuddling his or her dog. Like, we got a dog at court right now, which is just, you guys, you can't make this shit up, the stuff you see in Zoom court. Like, would you ever bring your dog to court? No, you would not bring your dog to court. So why is your dog giving you kisses and sitting in your lap in Zoom court?
He's not checked in. Last time he was smoking whatever and counting money. So he's probably doing that now, just not on film.
I did.
Damn, this judge is savage, calling out whoever this other party or witness was at a previous hearing, saying he was smoking something and counting money, which again, why are you doing that in court? But you know, let's let it roll.
Did hear about that allegation, Your Honor.
Allegation?
Well, I have to speak up.
You can call it an allegation. The only allegation as to what he was smoking. I don't think that he was or counting money. It's not an allegation. I saw it for myself.
This judge is a trip.
All right. But he's not here. Plus, he's got bond violations
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, that's all you can say.
because he was testing positive for cocaine on numerous occasions. In his last test, he missed.
I did get that report, Your Honor.
Yes. All of that is shocking.
I did attempt to contact Mr. Olive without success by phone and email.
From like what I'm catching from blips of whatever this proceeding is hovering, some sort of party to a case was under a court's order to submit to drug testing. And it looks like he already submitted one failed test, and it looks like he missed or failed to show up to take a subsequent test is what I'm hearing. Most of the time when you have a court ordered drug test and you fail to appear, that can be deemed as a positive test. So like not good. So don't just like voluntarily choose not to show up to a drug test because you think it's going to positive for drugs. Like if you choose not to show up, like it's still going to be deemed positive. It's not good.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond is set in the amount of $25,000 cash surety. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the people versus Michael Haywood. All right, Mr. Haywood, can you state your name, please?
Michael Haywood.
All right. What are we doing?
Good morning, Your Honor. I filed a motion to withdraw due to a direct conflict of interest regarding a witness or potential witness in this case that I identified after meeting with Mr. Haywood. As a result, I am unable to continue to represent Mr. Haywood. I would ask the court to permit me to withdraw.
Okay, that's a legitimate reason to ask to no longer represent a party. There's very strict code of ethics that attorneys have to follow, and where there is a conflict of interest, which can arise in numerous amount of ways that a conflict can arise. Here, she didn't express too specifically what it is, and you don't really have to express it specifically to a court. As an officer of the court, you make that representation. A judge will take it at face value and grant you your withdrawal. Here, she could have previously represented a witness or was a party to some other situation that she had an interest in. You don't know why.
Okay, I noticed in the motion that I don't have witness identified or the person identified.
Yes, Your Honor. Either we can approach her, I can try and describe this on the record very carefully.
Well, however you wish to do it. I mean, I need it says there's a conflict, I need to know, much like with the other motions, who the conflict is with.
Your Honor, if I identify the conflict who is not listed in the police report, he could be charged with crimes, and I've previously represented him. So I'm unable to provide additional information, which would result.
See, this makes sense. The judge is asking for a little bit more information so that we can make sure it's a legitimate request here. It is. She's saying that she previously represented this person, I guess, for some reason, disclosing what his identity would be could subject him to future criminal prosecution. So as attorneys, you have confidentiality duties to your clients, and you can't just like blast off to the world that you've represented these people.
The discovery to the prosecutor.
The motion's denied. I mean, I can't do it this way, Miss Julian. I mean, I have to have some indication as to what the conflict is.
She just told your stupid ass.
No.
What's your stupid ass? Oh my god, I'm stressed. We gotta watch.
Mr. Haywood.
No.
Oh my god, I could literally never. I'm about to fall out of this chair.
You didn't. Bond revoked. We're done.
Mr. Judge
Bond
Simpson,
revoked. Bond
I'm unable to
revoked. He will sit.
Oh my god. Wow, that defendant is unhinged, you guys. Bond revoked. Like, throw his ass back in jail.
Yes, Your
Matter
Honor.
is adjourned to September 1st. Bond revoked.
Your Honor, may I respectfully request to approach regarding my continued
I'm done. You go talk to your client. He'll never address that court this way. His bond is revoked. You're still.
Yeah, you've stained your name in the presence of a court. That judge is going to remember you. The judge is going to remember that form of ultimate disrespect. You're supposed to have respect and candor towards the court, no matter what, at all times. And if you choose to act out in the way that defendant did, like, you yourself. You played yourself. This judge is always going to remember you and is going to remember your attorney. The attorney is doing the best she can to remain respectful and try to clean up the damage that her client just caused. But woo!
His attorney. Motion denied.
Mr. Danner, I'll be in touch. Thank you.
Alrighty. That's September 1st, Your Honor.
Yeah, can't wait. Thank you.
Okay. No, I've been called a lot of things. I didn't know that,
You guys, judges get a bad rep. They can. But you guys, judges take so much, especially in criminal courts and family law courts, because it's just, you can't make it up. You can't make it up. Sometimes you run into defendants in the criminal side that just don't really have anything else to lose for whatever reason, no matter what their criminal records are, the current charges are. They have nothing to lose, so they just like are a wild card. They'll say whatever the they want to say. They don't care about the respect that must be afforded to a court. And like, these judges are human too, and they're doing the best they can. And when you pop off like that, like, what do you expect?
Mr. Caldwell, can you state your name, please, sir?
Sean Caldwell.
All right. All right, what are we doing on this?
Your Honor, I'm requesting an adjournment of the bond violation hearing. I think he has an exam next week.
And Your Honor, as the court I'm sure recalls, we were here last week for a PCC and the exam was set. At that time, I had let the court know that the defendant had been contacting the victim and requested his phone privileges be revoked. I'm not quite sure how, but his phone privileges weren't revoked immediately, and he was able to contact the victim the afternoon of our court hearing and had a phone conversation with her that I forwarded to Ms. Tang and Mr. Brown regarding that he knew he wasn't supposed to contact her. I have the recording. I'm happy to play it for the court if the court wants to hear it, but I thought the court would be interested in knowing that happened. Not sure where the delay or the disconnect was, but it does appear to me that it is a continued bond violation. I don't know if it's contemptible or what, but I wanted to bring it to the court's attention.
Your Honor, I listened to it, and it's one of those ways that I construe it as when the case is called and the prosecutor and the victim advocate want to hear from the complaining witness about modifying bond, and the complaining witness says, I don't want to proceed with the case and I want to have consensual contact and have him home. That's the way I construed it, Your Honor. So if you want to listen to it, and we got a busy docket, that's why I'm requesting.
But the defendant, my understanding is the contact came from the defendant.
Yeah, she put money in his account, and she also told him to contact her.
Okay.
Because he's got a job, Your Honor.
No, I got that. But what I'm saying is he shouldn't have been doing that, regardless of what the subject matter is. He shouldn't have been doing that.
Well, we can
Which
dismiss
is-
it now because Miss Lundy knows that she isn't going to show up and they can't proceed without her.
I'm not
She listened
dismissing
to the tape.
anything. What I'm saying is, whether I listen to the tape or not, that is not the only violation. The violation is the contact itself.
But Your Honor, if you listen to it, she's going to say, I don't want to proceed. I want you home. I got you a job lined up. And
Absolutely.
And it's going to get dismissed anyway. So
I don't know that, Mr. Brown.
Miss Lundy just told me.
Make that. If I
Miss
could
Lundy
make
just told you. She gave it to me last night, and I listened to it.
No, what I'm saying is I don't know that it's going to be dismissed. The only thing I can say is
she knows.
At the last hearing, I revoked it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't getting into the nitty gritty of exactly what this is about, but like this attorney Ronald Brown just like butting in, like not taking a breath. Like it's a little pushy. It's a little beyond how I would act in court personally. You never want to overstep with a judge. You never want to overspeak or interrupt a judge, especially when the judge is trying to dictate something important with this case. And attorney Ronald Brown might be a seasoned attorney. He might be someone who's in and out of this court and has developed a bit of a relationship with this specific judge. But still, you can tell that the judge is getting a little agitated because he keeps butting in and unnecessarily interrupting. And then you got this poor prosecutor, Lundy, who's just like, can I like get out of here?
His privileges. What Ms. Lundy is indicating is that day, at least, the defendant, still knowing he was under that prohibition, regardless of what circumstances there were, made contact. That's the problem. Whatever was said, that's to be dealt with at a later time. That's all I'm getting at.
But I'm
so
saying,
what do you folks want me to do with this? I'm dismissing. So
I want you to continue. I want her to dismiss it because she knows her complainant isn't going to show next week. She heard it on the recording. She wants him home because he has.
That's not gonna happen. So let's have something realistic. What do you want?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I guess it's in the prosecutor's hand to dismiss what they're talking about. But like, I guess she's saying the complainant has, I guess, represented at one point or another in some reporting that she's not going to be present. So like, let's just go ahead and throw this out preliminarily. Obviously, the judge is not agreeing with this. Circumstances can change between now and whenever this next hearing is scheduled. Again, this prosecutor is so done with this.
What do you want me to do? You want me to set it for exam so you can get to that point, Mr. Brown? Or
there's an exam, I think, next week, Judge. I think there's an exam scheduled next week. That's why
on this case.
On this case, I think it's next week, isn't it, Miss London?
Is it before me?
Can I plead guilty?
Okay.
Have I plead guilty to the?
Well, yeah.
I don't even know what this hearing is about, but this defendant, Sean Caldwell, needs to shut his trap. Who in their right mind says, can I plead guilty out of nowhere? And Attorney Brown is like waving his hand like, please just shut.
I mean, I have.
Red wants me to do that.
And then I just won't contact.
I'm going to make sure. Okay, sir, please.
Yeah.
What you need to do is you need to abide by the court's orders. This is already set for an exam.
Yeah, the very first thing that Miss Fink told me was not to initiate contact.
You guys quit talking back to judges like who, like, no, for real, something is in the Jello or the Kool-Aid. Like, it's insane, especially if you're represented by an attorney. Shut up, quit talking. Let your attorney, who you probably are paying a lot of money to, advocate on your behalf, because I promise you, you're going to dig yourself into a big hole. And Judge Simpson, man, like I said earlier, like these judges he's dealt with a lot. This obviously isn't his first hearing on this virtual docket for the day, and like he is getting stressed.
So I didn't until my wife initiated contact with me. Then I continued. I didn't initiate the contact. I followed through with it.
So he just wants to keep admitting to a violation. I mean, why?
Yeah. Like, no, I didn't initiate it, but like she talked to me, so I kept talking to her and we just had a conversation. And oh gosh, and this attorney Brown, like, dude, like, whoosh, get control, shut him up, like something. Honestly, when this does start happening in a lot of virtual situations that I have been in a courtroom, you have like the bailiff or the court coordinator or someone who's on standby and will just mute that person because it's getting out of control. He needs to be muted. Somebody mute him.
I admitted to it as soon as you brought it up last week.
The prosecutor's like, thank you everyone for doing my job for me today. Bless.
I had no.
Okay, but that's why you have an attorney that probably told you to be quiet.
Yeah, okay.
That's my point. Let your attorney do the work for you.
I'm just trying to help. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you just don't want to listen to that, nor the order that you shouldn't contact. You just don't want to listen to anything. You keep doing it your way, and it's not turning out real well.
I could say I didn't contact her.
Still talking. Let's note that he's still talking after the judge kindly advised him to not talk.
Please don't say
And
nothing.
we could.
I'm not yelling today.
Right
Maybe you should.
Your Honor.
We all should.
No. Well, you can start yelling. What happened to the last guy that yelled? Oh, yeah, he doesn't have a bond. All right.
Truth.
So,
Your Honor, the court's question was, what do I want you to do today? And I just know that how seriously the court takes its bond orders, and I wanted the court to be aware that contact had happened.
Okay, Prosecutor Lundy, I respect that. I appreciate that. She just seems like she has better candor for the court. She seems more prepared. She's really like kind of pulling it all back in, trying to be clear and concise here with the judge who has clearly gone off on a tangent because of this crazy defendant. And she's really just rallying the troops back in and like, Judge, this is the question you presented to myself and my opposing counsel, and here's my answer. So, you know, let's keep the wheels spinning here.
You were aware that it had gone on. I wanted to bring it to the court's attention. I hope and I think that the phone privileges have been revoked at this time, so the defendant shouldn't be able to contact her anymore. She has indicated in the phone call she doesn't intend to participate with the prosecution. However, as this court is well aware and Mr. Brown is well aware, it's the state of Michigan versus Sean Caldwell, not the victim versus Sean Caldwell.
Right. That's like foundational truth in like the criminal world. Like any state issue, like any criminal case is a state issue. It's handled. It's the people of the state, the society versus the criminal defendant. It's you as a criminal defendant have committed some act or some poor behavior that it has essentially caused like a stain or a debt to society based off of the laws that you have really broken. And the prosecutor represents the interest of the state, of the people, to bring those charges against you and to prosecute you.
Oh, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to dismiss it today. I'm not taking any pleas or anything today. This matter is, I guess, fortunately for me, set before me on Tuesday. So this matter will continue to that time. Sir, I'm going to indicate to you, the condition is that you are not to have contact.
Yes, sir.
Do not have contact.
Yes, sir.
The other thing is, I'm going to strongly suggest to you, listen to your attorney.
Yes, sir.
So this is reasonable. The judge is reasonable. I like the judge's style. I like his temperament. He's human. You know, nothing aggressive happening here.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, obviously this was entertainment. Zoom court is like this whole other beast that is just, it's hilarious and it's entertaining. But thanks you guys for tuning in for this reaction. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think, and go check out my personal channel, Attorney Brooke, for more of my own content, and have a good time. Bye.
Big verdict.